All right, Shalom.
Shalom.
All right, Shalom. First and foremost, we have to give all praises, honor, and glory to the Heavenly Father and His only begotten Son, Yahweh,
Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem, Yahushai,
Yahushai, Ba'ashem,
Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kadash.
Rakadai.
All right, we have to say double honors to our apostles and elders, a great millstone who rule well and taught us this truth. Peace and salutations to the Lord's elect, the whole elect in the one third, his brother Salah.
Yahushua.
Listen,
All right, and today's video topic, Lord wills, this video might not this video might not take too long, but we'll see what the Spirit takes us. The video is titled, the vision is yet for an appointed time, right? And what exactly do we mean by that? Well, prophecy, man. Like, so in the previous video, if your brothers and few sisters may or may not have watched. It was called, everyone had access to firearms, right? But how did Esau, the so-called white man, or take over, coming from the Caucasus Mountains when they had basically jack shit nothing, right? Well, I'll tell you, it's the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, man. Like 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 he could raise up a nation and bring them low. Like you like again like you could have all the resources you want in the world, man. You could have all the guns, all the food, water, all the land, everything, all the animals, you, you, all the heavy artillery, machinery, armor, and everything. You could have all that good stuff, right? But if the Lord ain't with you, man, or you like all that's just gonna come to naught, and that's just gonna get transferred over to someone else, right? You know, so of course we're gonna open up with the as the title reads, we're gonna open up with the book of Habakkuk, chapter 2, verse 3, and it says here, "For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. Though it tarry, wait for it, because it will surely come; it will not tarry." And that's right, man. What we see right now, we see prophecies. What sprint, walking off the pages. They sprinting off the pages, pretty much, man. Because we right now we are seeing the end of the rulership of who Esau Edom, the so-called white race, or the so-called white man. Obviously, it's not all white people, because we know some of our people may look like white people, or the other nations, right? But we're mainly speaking of you Edomites, the ones who descend from the line of Esau, right? Whether you look white, black, Asian, or whatever you look like, right? Right. Right, we're living at the end of the rulership, man. We're in this trade war. We are in the trade wars with China, man. We see the uprisings and the uproars of the people, man. Food prices are skyrocketed, as we always say, man. And that pe- and we're in the times of peace and safety, where Trump wants to make peace with China, but guess what? That's not gonna happen, right? We eventually gonna go in that third wolves, man. World War III, man. But not until, like, the economy completely goes to shit in Babylon, and then what's gonna happen, right? Like, you can have that sedition among men, right? People are gonna invade one another, take people's foods, resources, or whatever the fuck they want or need, because of why that lack of bread, man. Right, right. So we're gonna pull up another precept. It says here, who who can resist the will? All right. So this is the book of Romans, chapter 9, verse 19. It says here, "Thou will say thou will say then unto me, why doth he yet find fault? Who hath resist his will?" Right, right. So right. So again, man, who has resist the will of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, man? Like, if the Lord wants you to do something, man, like you think you might do something the next day, hey, but you end up doing something completely different, right? Like say, like you plan to go somewhere, but instead you had to stay home and do stuff, because something happened at home, right? Well, that was the will of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, right? Just like these prophecies, man. like Esau thinks, right? Like Esau thinks he's gonna be in rulership forever, right? Right, and that aligns with the precept. Let's see if I can get that. This can you. All right, so this is the book of Psalms. Psalms chapter 49, and we're gonna start at yeah. We're gonna start at verse 11. It says here, their inward thought is that their houses shall continue forever, and their dwelling places to all generations. They call their lands after their own names, right? And this is talking about Esau, man, right, like because who renamed all the land masses and all the conquered planets after themselves, right? This Esau, going back to Job 9:24, the earth is being given into the hand of the wicked. It's been given into their hand, and the Yahweh Shem Yahshua allowed it to go into their hand. Why is to fulfill prophecy of them getting judged ultimately, and and for Yahweh Shai to return and beam up his elect, right? Right. We had to go into captivity for prophecy to be fulfilled, right? Yahweh Shai had to die on the cross to redeem Israel, right? Right, and this right, and 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 what's it called, like and the and these devils, man, like these devils in rulership, these devils really think they could try to thwart prophecy, right? Just like how Herod thought he could try to stop prophecy by trying to kill every firstborn of the kid, but guess what? That was already prophesized that Herod would do that. That's why the angel told Joseph and Mary, to flee into Egypt, because Herod was trying to kill the Messiah, just like today, man. Like Esau, man. He like when he comes down with his great wrath, meaning what? Like he's about to execute that mandatory MOTB, and trying to chip everyone. And that's when the Lord shall cast down his fury, and rain upon Esau. Meaning what? He's gonna send his ICBM nuclear missiles when he's gonna try to chip the elect. But guess what? The Lord's not gonna allow that. He's gonna allow Esau to get up to a certain point, until he gets judged, right? So
Ultimately,
ultimately,
man, the Lord, Yahweh Shai, he ordains everything. He ordains even to the point of Esau being a master with the sword, because just everything is leading up to his ultimate judgment.
that's right, man. And oh, shit, what was I gonna say? I had it, but it'll come back. But
I have a precept in the
yeah,
meantime.
yeah, go ahead, brother.
It's the book of Luke 6:25. Woe to you, woe unto you that are full, for ye shall hunger. Woe unto you that laugh now, for ye shall mourn and weep. So Esau right now, he's having his laugh. He's celebrating. You see him out in public, these fancy restaurants, looking down on Jake, serving him. They're going out on the boat ride. They're having their fucking Super Bowl celebrations all that folly, man. Fourth of
Yep.
July celebration, and they're enjoying their something. They're enjoying their sweet time that they have left here. But soon they're gonna be the ones in slavery, and they're gonna be weeping.
Yeah, because a lot of Emites, they have it so good on this side. Like, you see them with big groups hanging out with each other, you know. But the second you walk by, they start giving you weird looks, you know. They start giving you looks like you're not a part of us type look, you know. And that goes back to this spiritual thing, man. This devil, he knows his time is up. He knows he's gonna go into that. Those thousand year of slavery.
Hey, that's right, man. And to what y'all watching me outside, I remember something, and this and Elder Malcolm said this, right? The reason why, and this is how this is the truth, right? The reason why Esau hasn't tried to shut down, why he hasn't tried to the throw the throw the Israelites in the prison, or just outright kill them, like he does with other people that try to expose him, right? Just and we're talking about your average everyday Joe Edomite that exposes the elites for being fucking
Salakia,
pedophiles and
Salakia.
shit.
My sorry, my animals were screaming in the background. This fucking spirits right there. Have you guys heard that in the background?
Oh, it's okay, brother. But as I was saying, man, like the reason why Esau has as in put his hands on the prophets, right, or the men that are speaking against him, is because like Esau knows that as soon as he lays his hands on the prophets, right, then that's when his ass is gonna get judged immediately, right? And that's how this truth is of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is of the Lord, or like this truth, man, would have been stopped years ago, us exposing Esau, this damn devil. Because I'm gonna say this again, like I said, right, like people with like Snowden or whatever, or the guy that made like the movie The Gray State, like what happened to him? Esau took his ass out, and Snowden, I think he's still trying to seek asylum because he exposed what the NSA is doing, and we've already been knowing that Esau's been spying on us. It's just him saying that just confirms what we already knew, right? You know. Yeah, 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 but that just goes to show you, man, that this devil's getting exposed on all fronts. But you know what? Here's what the scriptures say: "For you can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth." And let's get that. This is the book of Second Corinthians, chapter 13, starting at verse 8. For we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. For we are glad when we are weak, and ye are strong, and this also we wish, even your perfection. Therefore I write these things, being absent, least being present, should I use sharpness, according to the power which the Lord Yahweh Shem hath given to me for edification, and not to destruction. Finally, brethren, farewell, be perfect. And that word perfect goes into what? Being blameless, keeping our garments white. Be of good comfort, and be of one mind, live in peace, and the God of love and peace shall be with you. And that's Yahweh, right? Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Right, because during these troubled times, man, wisdom and knowledge, right? The Ruach Hakodesh, us knowing, these prophecies, right? This doctrine, right? This truth, that's gonna be the stability of our times when Jacob's trouble hits. But for the rest of these people, right? They're asked out, and again, that's why I said in the beginning of the video, it doesn't matter whether or not you stockpiled on so much food, water, you have your own bunkers, or your own fallout shelter or hidden shelter, like all these martial arts, you're fit, you're buff, you have all the guns, weapons, swords, or whatever the fuck you have, or battle tactics, man. If Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, if he's not with you, man, and that begins with this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. If he's not with you, if you don't know this, man, then you're basically screwed. You're asked out. All right, brother Yahweh said something. It says in the NLT. Can you get the precept for this, brother, if you can find it? All right, we're going to read in the NLT first, and then we'll get in the KJV. It says here, "For the word of God is alive and powerful. It is sharper than the sharpest two-edged sword, cutting between soul and spirit, between joint and marrow. It exposes our intent, thoughts, and desires. And, and no, for you dumb motherfuckers that say soul and spirits are different things, no, it's the same thing. It's just like saying head and hair. Stupid motherfuckers, man. Shit.
Yeah, because so like, yeah, can I bring something out real quick?
Yeah, go ahead.
Because you got a lot of guys who will try to differentiate between regeneration and reincarnation as well. You
It
know,
it's the same thing, dummies. Regeneration, reincarnate. It's the same exact fucking thing. Stupid asses. Shit, man. Salakia. For cussing, but is it sometimes people are just fucking stupid out there, man. Jeez. And anyways, book of Hebrews, chapter 4, verse 2. This is the KJV. For unto us as was the gospel preached, and as well as to them, but the word preached not did not profit them, being mixed with faith that them that heard it. And if we jump down to verse 12, it says here, for the word of Yahweh is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing to even dividing asunder of soul and spirit, the joints and marrow. It is discerner of thoughts and the intents of the heart. Yeah, so see that's a clear cut right there that the Yahweh Bashem Yahshua, he looks at the intents of your heart and mind, right? He judges your inner character, and that's what us putting away the old man and being made anew in the spirit, right? Putting on that new garment, or putting on that winning gown, for the return of Yahweh Shai, right? That we may be deemed worthy for us, for him to save us, man. If we be of those men, Yahweh Bashim Yahshai with the right. Right, so so ultimately, right, right, like you, basically, man, no one knows when basically no one knows what they're gonna do the next day, because ultimately it's the Lord, or Yahweh Bashim Yahshai, that's in control of everything. Like Jake during the Dark Ages, right? Jake didn't know he was gonna fall, right? Like Jake thought he was gonna stay in rulership, and what happened? He got complacent, he got lackadaisical. He thought that, oh, it's okay if I let a few Edomites, just be cool with them, and that's Jake not taking heed or regarding the scriptures, where it says, never trust thine enemy, right? Because what happened? Esau slithered his way back into rulership, during the 1400s, during that Renaissance period. But guess what? John the it was already prophesied in the book of Genesis, and in the book of Job, and in the book of Revelation, right? That Esau would eventually come back into power, but now, but now we are seeing the end of his rulership, right? And we're living in the time of seeing the Egyptian against the Egyptian. Why? Why? Because Yahushai said this. All right, this is the book of Matthew, chapter 10, verses 34. Think not that I am come to send peace. I came not to send peace, but a sword. And this is Yahushai speaking, right? Right. So yeah, right. So Yahushai, he wants that division. He wants that war to come. Why? right? Because ultimately he's setting up these people to to ultimately face judgment, right? And this is all while simultaneously he's sifting for his elect, whoever they are. And that's the spirit that we're in now. We're in that time of division. We're in the time of these nations getting called to arms, right? Of them beating their plowshares and the swords and their pruning hooks and the spears, right? Right? Because why? Because ultimately, again, it's the will of the Lord, to gather these nations and to ultimately judge them and set up the kingdom of heaven, right? And Brother Al Sabi, he brought James chapter 4 verse 14, where it says, "Whereas not what shall be done on the morrow, for what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth for a little time, and then vanish away. We don't know when our next day will be. So we gotta get right now. Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's right, man.
It, and can I bring something out with that
Yeah. Go
after
ahead.
you're done? Um, the I believe it's the book of Sirach. I heard about it today. Yeah, I read about it today. It was talk about vanity of vanities, right? I don't know if you can bring that out, but basically how none of this. Basically, like it's easy to get caught up in these things like in this world, and I every day I get caught up with these things in this. I'm always I got we kind of have to we have to pay the bills and stuff, but like like at the same time we will Yahweh willing, man, we're gonna bear the fruit, we're gonna reap the rewards of the harvest, because with that book of Matthew talk about storing up your treasures on not here where moths lay and vermin destroy, but store up your treasures in heaven, right? So we're patiently waiting because we know everything in this on this side is defiled. Even our the human flesh, man. We think about crazy things, all the time, But when we get those new spiritual bodies, when we become transformed, we're gonna be able to. How do I say it? We're not gonna even have a wicked thought in our head, We're not gonna even think about. We're not gonna even have those intrusive thoughts, those demons trying to, approach us and stuff, you know.
Why? And the reason is because we can become one with the Heavenly Father again. Just like Yahweh Shai is right now.
Yeah.
And no, it doesn't mean like Yahweh Shai and the Heavenly Father are the same person. No, we obviously know that's not the case. But I'm just saying that, because there's some people out there that think they're the same person, right? But anyways, what that means is we're all gonna adopt the same mindset of the Heavenly Father, meaning what we're going to be made perfect. The curse of the law, right, is going to be lifted from us. Is because they're going to be written in our inward parts, and we're not going to go off. We ain't gonna never go off again once we get the new spiritual bodies. When we get beamed up with them chariots, right? Right, and then once that happens, then that's when the kingdom of Israel is gonna be established. And while at the same time, while the rest of these nations, they're gonna go straight into captivity, right? Right where they belong. And ultimately, this is the Lord's, and this is the Lord's and goal for everything. For Israel to get saved, become perfect in His eyes, and for the rest of these heathen nations to go into captivity, to be in servitude. Basically forever, right? Like, well, when I say forever, like they're gonna be in servitude, like hardcore bondage for 1,000 years. Then they go back to their own land, but they still have to be tributaries unto us, and they still have to keep the law that's being enforced. So you can already understand that these heathens, they're pretty much they're gonna get their asses beat every day, because guess what? they still in this mortal flesh. They're not going to be able to keep them laws perfectly. So yeah. All right. Yeah. So let's see if I can if I can get one one last one more precept before we close off for the night. Um. All right. So we're gonna get the Book of Revelation. So we're gonna close off on this precept, right? So we're at the Book of Revelation, chapter 21, and 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 we're starting at verse 1. It's talking about the new heaven and new earth. And I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth were passed away, and no more there was no more sea. And John saw the holy city, the new Jerusalem, coming down from Yahweh out of heaven, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a great voice out of heaven saying, "Behold, the tabernacle of Yahweh is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people, and Yahweh himself shall be with them, and be their God, their power, and Yahweh shall wipe away all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away." And he that sat upon the throne said, "Behold, I will make all things new." And he said unto me, "Write, for these words are true and faithful." Yeah, and yet, and I'm gonna continue to read on. And he said unto me, "It is done. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give unto him all that is a thirst of the fountain of the water of life freely. He that hath he that overcometh shall inherit all things, and I will be his God, and he shall be my son. Be but the fearful and unbelieving and the abominable and murderers and whoremongers and sorcerers and idolaters and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burneth with fire and brimstone, which is the second death. Right? And all that, man, that's the vision, man. That all that's about to come real soon, right? Right, Yahweh Shai coming down with 144,000, the elect. You know, the lake of the lake of fire, which is the second death. That it's not an actual hell that burns forever, right? It's America getting nuked and looking like a lake of fire. As the scriptures talk about that sea of glass mingled with fire. And let's get that. Right, and that pertains to Revelation chapter 15, verse 2. And I saw, as it were, a sea of glass mingled with fire, and them that had gotten the victory over the beast, and over his image, and over his mark, and over the number of his name, and stand on the sea of glass, which having the harps of Yahweh. That's right, man. Man, that's the elect. Lord willing, that's us. Watching Babylon getting nuked, and all these wicked motherfuckers just getting burnt up, right? Right, that's in that second flood, just their spirits just suffering, right? And these are the things that that they, that us in the faith, that's what we're patiently waiting on. Is is the return of Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, and for us, to endure all these things, right, and especially not to take the mark, the mark of the beast, that Michael see him, that karagma, and yeah, and see the kingdom of, the first time around, right? So with that, we're gonna close off the lesson here. Hope this lesson has been edifying. And with that, we'd like to say, call Halal Allah, Abba
Yahweh,
Yahweh,
Yahweh, Yahweh,
Bashim,
Bashim, Yahweh
Yahweh.
Shai,
Rai,
Ba'al
Bashim,
Shem, Rakah
Rakatash.
Kadash. All right, let's say the honor to our apostles and elders, a great millstone who will and taught us this truth. Peace and salutations to the Lord's elect, the elect in the 1/3, Jabal Salah.
Yo, what's up?
Barak.
Shah is here. With that, we'll just say Shalom.
Shalom.